Jessica, lights, camera, action.
Alrighty. Daily money management services. The reason that I chose this service line is because I have a very tiny effect on DMMS. A little bit of what I do actually affects them. So I wanted to get a better understanding of the bigger picture and what all that they do for our clients and how they benefit our clients, since I do kind of touch this area just a little bit. She's going to appreciate her bouncing. Brenda Helms is the director of DMMS. She is here in the Montgomery office. She has over 25 years experience in the financial industry, and she has been with Warren Averett for over 9 years. She also recently obtained her Professional Daily Money Manager certification from the American Association of Daily Money Managers. Just a little bit of a background on DMMS. It started about 11 years ago as an elderly care service when Wilson Price saw a need with their longtime clients who were aging, transitioning from retirement and becoming elderly. They saw that they were having issues with the day-to-day tasks such as keeping up with their checkbook, paying bills, that sort of thing. So that's kind of how it started. They stepped in to help that niche of clients, and then very soon realized that these types of services would be very useful to a broad range of clients, busy clients who are still in the workforce and needed help, someone to step in to help them relieve some of that pressure. So they very soon expanded into working with current executives and even some small businesses. Today, DMMS mainly services current executives, retired executives, and the elderly. These three categories obviously have very different lives. Their day-to-day schedule is going to look very different. They're dealing with complex schedules, traveling, they're super busy, they have a lot on their plate. Some of them even have some mental incompetency. So with this broad range of client base, DMMS attempts to zone in on and focus their efforts on the individual. No service line or no service to one individual is going to look the same as another one, even within the same type of category. DMMS attempts to conform to their client's world. They want to specialize. They want to meet that specific individual's needs. That's their goal. Here are just some of the benefits of that DMMS offers to their clients. It helps them to save time and to relieve some of those mundane, routine, or even complex responsibilities. It helps to bring clarity and order to the individual's lives. It helps the individuals and their family members live burden-free lifestyles and gives them some sense of financial independence as they mature. It gives their clients peace of mind knowing that their financial needs are being met timely and appropriately. Another benefit that Brenda Helms mentioned to me that I didn't really find any in the literature that I read was how DMMS impacts not its external client, but internal client. So throughout the year, DMMS will be recording transactions, keeping up with the finances for their clients in like a QuickBooks. And then at the end of the year, tax prep time, the tax department has a relatively clean general ledger to work from. And if there are any questions, issues, adjustments that need to be made, because we're all internal, we're right here with one another, it's easy to communicate back and forth between the two departments to get those things resolved timely for the client's tax preparation purposes. Here is just kind of a list of some of the most common services that DMMS offers to its clients: bill pay, deposit, record keeping, bank statement reconciliation, reporting, mail sorting, oversight, storage. Another, I guess, service that they sort of offer would be like I said earlier, I kind of have a little bit of an impact on DMMS, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So we have a particular client who has some investments, and every month their brokerage statement comes into Daily Money Management Services. Well, because the recording of those transactions on their brokerage statement is just a little more complicated than like taking someone's checking account, like just the transactions off of their regular operating checking account. They have an accountant prepare the journal entries. So I'll get the brokerage statement from them, go through, write up journal entries, and send it to them, and they post those journal entries. And like I said, with the tax department, by the time they get it year end, they know that an accountant has looked over some of those more complicated transactions and recorded them, so they have a little more sense of, I guess they're a little more assured that that information is going to be relatively accurate. I would like to think I did it correctly, and if there were any questions, anything ever came up, they would just come straight to me, and we would be able to work through those issues relatively quickly. Here is just a list of some of just miscellaneous services that DMMS also offers. I want to real quick go ahead and point out, when I was talking to Brenda on the phone and we were discussing just all the things that DMMS does and what it offers to their client, I soon reached the conclusion. I told her, I was like, if I wanted to sit down and write out every little service that DMMS provides its clients, it's like I would have a page long. And she agreed. She said that they are tailoring to their clients. They have certain services that they offer to a particular client that they don't offer to anyone else because no one else needs it. That's what that client needs. An example was a client has a condo that they rent out and they just don't have the time to deal with it. So DMMS takes in the rental income, like helps them with the renters that come in, takes in the rental income, makes the deposits, and then pays the dues, the association dues, or whatever related to the condo. So I thought it was very interesting. Something else she mentioned that I had to get her to back up and explain to me, assist with political campaigns. So I asked her, well, what does that look like? She said that they work with people who are on a political campaign, and she said that they receive the donations, keep track of it, record keeping, they'll make the deposits, and then pay like the promotional and advertising type expenses. So I thought that was very interesting. But they'll handle payroll for some smaller businesses with their elderly clients, medical claims, processing and follow-up. They help them sign up for Medicare, Social Security benefits, that kind of thing. Cash flow planning and projections. They act as a liaison between the client and vendors, financial institutions, their accountant, that sort of thing, just because they're too busy to deal with it. They will take any kind of files, support documents, whatever, make them into digital files, and they'll store them for them. And let's see, that's pretty, like I said, it's so many services are offered, I could possibly put them on a slide, but they'll pretty much tailor their services to any type of client. So here is just kind of a testimony from a client of DMMS. This is Graham Esdell Jr. He is an attorney with Beasley Allen based here in Montgomery. Graham has a daughter that's in pre-med at Auburn, and he has a 9-year-old son that apparently is an avid music lover. But he just goes on to say that DMMS created a personal financial plan specific to him and his household so that he was able to do the things and spend more time on the things that are most important to him, and for him that was his family. So DMMS stepped in and kind of just helps him manage his day-to-day life so that he can do the things that otherwise he would have the time for, and the things that are just most important to him, which is his family. So I have, I guess kind of like this is a brochure that DMMS puts together for their clients to sort of pick up, flip through, whatever. So if anyone is interested in, I guess, a little more information of what DMMS does, I have this for you to look through. And if you have a client or a potential client that you think would benefit from something, from some of the services that I mentioned, I can get you in touch with